Thanks for staying with us right here on Sunrise as we continue this Friday morning. Now, Johannesburg motorists in the province of Gauteng who default on paying their e-toll fees could lose their licenses in the event that the demerit system of an Amendment Road Act comes into effect. Now, to talk further on this, the e-toll system as a whole, we're joined in studio by COSATU spokesperson Sizwe Pamla and Jeff Chua, who is the CEO and registrar at the Road Traffic Infringement Agency. Remember, you can be part of our conversation by giving us a call on 011-447-1742 or 011-447-1620. Your comments are also welcome on our Facebook and Twitter pages. All right, good morning, gentlemen, and thanks very much for joining us. Sizwe, let's start with you. We are in the situation and we could find ourselves having to deal with having no license. What is COSATU's position on this?
Well, look, firstly, as COSATU, we were shocked when we had political parties in the National Assembly actually linking ARTO with e-tolls. Because we've been part of the formulation of the ARTO at NETLEC. In 2013, we were there as COSATU. We made our submissions. We understood ARTO to be a bill that was an amendment that was supposed to help us to really address the driving culture in South Africa, to deal with the reckless driving and make sure that the cars that are on the road are roadworthy. The issue of e-tolls, it had nothing to do with ARTO from what we understood. When the bill went to the National Assembly, we also were never told that the issue of e-tolls was smuggled in.
So, smuggled in?
Yes, because look, since we've been part of the process, we can only really characterize it as someone smuggling it in because we did participate in the initial stages. So we are saying if the e-tolls have been smuggled into the ARTO bill, we are going to oppose it because the e-tolls are really about levy. In terms of raising money to fix the roads. It's got nothing to do with what the ARTO is supposed to be about.
All right. Okay, so Mr. Chua, how do we tackle that? How did it get, is it been smuggled in? I mean, there was some public consultation processes. Can you just give us an understanding in terms of that?
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I can confirm, firstly, what Caesar is saying that the ARTO Amendment Bill is a process that was extensively engaged upon. Even the Labour Movement, we've engaged upon various stakeholders. It went through NETLEC. I can confirm that there is no smuggling in respect of the e-tolling. One needs to be able to understand that e-toll is a project that falls under infrastructure. We, from the Road Traffic Infringement Agency, the ARTO, deals with traffic management and road safety issues. There is no link between the e-tolling and ARTO. It is very mischievous of any political party, anybody that says ARTO will be used in order to collect outstanding e-tolls. That is not the case. It never was the intention. And I just want to state that categorically that it is not.
So is that not the correct information that's out there? So.
No, that is not the correct information. And we have taken interviews, we've had inquiries that were given by various media houses, and we made it very clear. It is just unfortunate and mischievous for people to intentionally try to create the perception that ARTO is just being used as a collection mechanism for outstanding e-tolls.
Okay, so are you alluding to that the DA and organization outgoing tax abuse are linking the two? Are you saying that they're just creating, a storm in a teacup that's not
Absolutely, absolutely. It is not true, and all the motorists have nothing to fear. But there is a second misnomer that I need to be able to correct. That people, in terms of that misperception that they have been touting, they say people stand to lose their driving licenses. What is important is ARTO deals with all non-compliant behavior in respect of what is contained in the National Road Traffic Act.
Okay.
There are certain categories that has got to do with driving behavior, certain categories that deals with road traffic signs. It is nothing to do with e-tolling. There is a category that deals with disobeying road traffic sign. If you drive on any particular road, you will see road traffic signs that says, in this section of the road, you've got to be driving at 60 km per hour or 80 km per hour, or whatever is the applicable one. There are also signs that tells you and informs a driver that you are now entering into a tolled road. We're not talking about e-toll. ARTO will be applicable throughout the whole country.
Okay.
There are gantries whereby people have been paying tolls, and all that it says, you are entering into a tolled road,
So you'll have
and
to pay to
therefore
cross
you've
the
got
other-
to be able to pay.
Okay.
If when you undertake that trip and you disobey that directive road sign, that's the only thing that ARTO talks about. And you would then be committing an infringement only in respect of disobeying the road sign that tells you you are in a toll road.
All right. Okay. So Susan, let's talk about the reality though of, you know, we have purple elephants on the freeway, and they need to be paid for. The bill currently is standing at over 9 billion or something like that. You know, the Premier is trying to get the new president to fast track that the situation is dealt with as a province and as a country. What should be happening in that state?
Look, this is one of the most bizarre situations that we have had to face in this country. If you look at the e-tolls, only Sanral actually still talks about e-tolls. We went to the ANC NGC in 2015. The ANC Youth League stood up and asked in that NGC, who here still supports the e-tolls? Women's League, Veterans League, the ANC leadership, the NEC, alliance partners, they all rejected the e-tolls. Now, you have a ruling party that has been given a mandate. All of its structures say these e-tolls should go. And yet, there is no appetite or political stomach to actually deal with the e-tolls. I mean, the people of Gauteng have overwhelmingly rejected the e-tolls. In fact, we still insist as the Federation that they punished the ANC in the last local government elections because they were unhappy with the manner in which the e-tolls were handled. From where we stand, the President of the Republic with the Premier of Gauteng need to deal with this issue because this is why you have this kind of opportunism, political opportunism from political parties. They know that e-tolls, they're an emotive issue. So if you touch e-tolls and you link e-tolls with the suspension of licenses, then the people of South Africa are going to be up in arms.
All right, let's take Yusil on the line. Yusil, good morning, and thanks for holding your comment or question this morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, what is your comment?
Yes, my comment is, I just want to ask Dr. Amanda,
Yeah?
about what is different between those toll plaza and e-tolling?
Okay, so
Yeah.
what is the difference between e-tolls and the normal toll gate that you go through?
Well, let me emphasize first of all that Sanral is
Runs
the one that is responsible for infrastructure and they run. I'm not in any way here representing the Sanral, but from what I can tell you is the main difference between the normal tolls and e-tolls is the fact that within the e-toll system you're using electronic means of enforcement, whereas in the other parts of the country you've got gantries where you physically stop and you make your payment and somebody will be physically there collecting the revenue and the fees that you need to be able to pay.
Okay.
If I may just also emphasize another point, when it comes out to the tolling, and which is what the ARTO deals with in terms of disobedience of road traffic signs, there is nobody that will lose their driving licenses. And this is something I would like to emphasize. When you do not comply with that road traffic signs, that non-compliant behavior does not in any way carry any demerit point. So not only is it incorrect in respect of the attempt to link it with the e-tolling, but even for the rest of the country, where e-tolling is not applicable, there is no demerit point that will be attracted when.
But a
one does
demerit
that.
point system is coming into the country in a short while.
Yes, the demerit point
Yes.
will be coming in,
Yes.
and it is an attempt for us to be able to correct the unruly and non-compliant behavior.
Okay. All right. Let's take a caller. We've got. Is it Dlamini? Hi.
Sanibona wephezu.
Sawubona webhuti.
Thina sabantu abaqonyela igoli manje umuntu umeseza la kuzomela lokho ekhokha imali eyishisiwe ingekho esingenazo. So akufanele lento ihlanganise neAlto. Okwesibili futhi engifuna ukwazi ukuthi lo consultation wakhona kuzothathwa nesikusho ngoba obvious asifuni lento mayihambe.
Okay. I think from what we've established, from Jeff, is that the two are they're not linked. It is about
That's
roads,
correct.
but it's not the same WhatsApp
Yes,
group,
yes.
as they say in the streets. Okay, but now, the demerit points is coming through. So if you're driving an unregistered vehicle, your fine is 500 Rand and you'll get a 1 point demerit. So these demerit points will accumulate to close to about 12?
They will accumulate until 12.
Until 12?
Yes.
And then
when you exceed it, that's when the suspensions will come into place. It's also important to emphasize that the whole intention of the demerit point system, it's an objective and a fair process that easily identifies habitual traffic offenders. And in that respect, when you easily identify them, you can bring in the related interventions that are intended to correct that behavior. The intention about the ALTO is not just a punitive measure.
It's a traffic management.
It's a traffic management interaction,
Okay.
but it is not something that is intended to just be punitive. It's more rehabilitative, so that people get to understand their rights, their responsibilities, and the impact of non-compliant behavior on other road users.
Okay. All right, Sizo, why has the e-toll system totally collapsed? If we really why has it collapsed?
Well, it was an ill-conceived and a terrible idea in the first place. Because, look, if you look at the public transport system in this country, it's non-existent. Look at the taxi industry. It's not regulated. The people, you do not expect people to park their cars and actually go to the taxi rank. When you look at how the taxi industry operates, you look at the other, you look at the bus system, you look at the train system. So we still insist that, look, in this country, we are not going to have a user pay principle until we get to a point where we have got a functioning public transport system. Because without that functioning public transport system, people are not going to actually stop using their private cars.
All right, Mr. Chua, it's clear we will lose our licenses if we misbehave on the road and we break rules of the road because we accumulate those 12 points and lose our points, right?
Correct.
But we're not going to lose them because we're not paying e-tolls.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, we'll leave it at that.